What's going on, fellow Platinum Trophy chasers? Today, we're going through my experience getting the Platinum Trophy for Elden Ring, or as I call it, the Struggle is Real Ring. This game is a total of 42 trophies with 3 gold, 14 silver, 24 bronze, and the Platinum Trophy. The trophy balance in this game isn't great, unfortunately, though. It is a full-on bronze fest. But get ready to rage at this game, because it is not a walk in the park. Even if you play some of the quote-unquote broken classes in this game, it still isn't easy. It might have been easier early on when this game first came out, but 2 years later on, a lot of the broken stuff was patched. The biggest question most plat chasers are thinking is this game worth going for, and is there a chance I might just give up? The answer to both these questions is unfortunately yes and yes. This game is definitely worth going for, the platinum, but this is one of those games that if you have it platinumed, it feels like an accomplishment and prevents someone from saying you only platinum easy games. But be warned that this game could also end up in your trophy list as uncompleted, as some of the bosses in this game are incredibly annoying and controller breaking worthy. This game has 10 classes that you can pick from, that each have their own special abilities and starting attributes. I picked the astrologer as I always play mage classes for these type of games, and if you looked up the strong classes, I'm sure you saw people crying about the mages. Don't listen to the forums and other players that say playing a mage is the easy way out. There are plenty of our classes that are broken, which is what they're probably using anyways. They are talking bad about mages. Also, majority of us don't want to play the same game for over 1,000 hours like it's our job and hope that we can finally beat it. So just play the class you enjoy for games like this, and no matter what class you are, some of the bosses will be easier and some will be harder depending on your class. A few of the bosses I struggled with were Rygard, Malekith, the Black Blade, Malena, and the Elden Beast. These bosses messed me up pretty bad. They would kill me in 1 to 2 hits for the most part. And most of their bosses that didn't have too much of a problem, I could kill most of them in a few attempts. One of the downfalls of the mage though is close quarters boss fights are rough, as the stronger spells have a longer cast time and make you extremely vulnerable. Especially when you're in some of like the cave bosses. The areas are so tight, I mean you have like 2 seconds to cast a spell and start dodging. But looking at the trophies, 30 of the trophies in this game are boss related and can be completed at any time. So if you run past the part that they are in, you can always go back. You can't miss them. Some of them are story related and some are optional. The only truly missable trophy is Legendary Armaments, which is to collect all 9 legendary weapons. The only reason this is missable is you have to get this before an event happens in the capital city. This event happens after being the fire giant, so make sure you grab it before you defeat him. The rest can be gotten at any time for this trophy. There are a few other collectible trophies that are the same thing, but collecting other items such as Ashen Remains, Sorceries and Incantations, and Talismans. The nice part is none of them are missable. You do have to beat some of the pretty tough mini-bosses to get some of these though, so don't try and rush too far ahead in the story or you're going to get smacked. There are 3 trophies in this game for getting 3 different endings, but don't worry, once you beat the Elden Beast, you can rest at a site of grace and make a cloud save to get all of them in one playthrough. Hopefully you didn't touch the fire fingers though, because otherwise you'll have to get it cured before you can get the other endings. I saved the Frenzy Flame ending for last, which is what happens when you touch the fire fingers, as I heard that if you touch them it's a kind of a pain to get it taken away, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to save that for the end. The other secondary ending you'll get when going for all the weapons, is you have to complete Ronnie's questline for one of the weapons. And then the main ending is just the main ending. You don't have to do anything special to get it, you really just get the ending just by answering one of the questions at the end. I'm not going to tell you what it is though in case you don't like spoilers. But my overall experience for getting the platinum in this game was both great and rage-filled. This game made me want to break my controller multiple times, but then also gave me a sense of accomplishment when beating some of the harder bosses. I don't regret playing this game at all though. Some of the games that are super hype end up being sometimes not being fun to platinum and just overall bad games, but this game was awesome. It took me 69 hours to platinum this game, which in my opinion is not too bad for this kind of game. When I started playing this game, I assumed it would take me closer to 100 hours or more to platinum. I definitely suggest researching builds for the class of your liking, however. This will speed up the process significantly, as there are a ton of great builds out there, and this gets rid of the trial and error constantly, unless that's something you enjoy. There are also a few great spots early on for rune farming. I farmed runes very early on as a Bestial Sanctum by killing the black hooded enemies that run around. This got me to level 40 fairly quickly, and then I started farming at the Moglen Palace. I probably butchered that, but there's a bird that you can just like shoot arrows with. He just jumps off the map and you get a ton of experience, or not experience, and you get a ton of runes for it. And this got me to level 130 within a few hours after reaching this area. The rune farming isn't fun, but it does help if you want to make some of the battles a little easier. In order to get to the Login Palace, though, you do need to progress a little bit in the story, however, before you can get to this area, because you have to complete the Bloodfingers questline. Unfortunately, you can't do this one instantly, just get the instant farm going. You gotta play for a little bit. There is a 30-minute loop, however, that you should definitely complete before start running around and fighting bosses. This loop is all over the internet though, so definitely check that out before starting. But good luck to those of you who are going to take the leap and try to platinum this game. Let me know in the comments if you platinum this game and what games you'd like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe and join the chase so you don't miss any future videos. Until next time, remember, plat chasing isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle.